always been a good student. Don't be paraphrasing what I say. Sam, you know, is a pilot. He flew into here on purpose. He delayed his arrival here so he could come head on through that storm. See if we can do it again. Right? You know, Sam was a graduate of our college. We're very proud of him. Very, very proud of him. He was a state rep in '92. Many of you know that. Became a senator, state senator in '94, re-elected. And then in 2001, he became a congressman. He's been there ever since, and we're very grateful for that. 6th congressional district. He's a 6th-generation farmer still. We're very proud of that as well. He's on the House, chairs the House Subcommittee, Transportation Subcommittee on Highways and Transit, which is very important. We appreciate that. I was told Sam, though, I always love you to be the chair of the Ag Committee, too. But you can affect the Ag Committee with transportation. I know that that's an important kind of thing. So we're looking forward to your comments, and we're glad he's here. His kids are graduates of our college. We appreciate that very much. Let's give Sam praise.
Thanks everybody for letting me be here. Jesse, when I was in school, it was Dean Mitchell and Dean O'Leary. Remember those? I mean, everybody remembers Dean Mitchell. I don't know if very many people remember Dean O'Leary. That was even longer ago, unfortunately. Dean mentioned too, I've got 2 kids that are now graduates from the College of Agriculture, and I'm sending one down. My last one starts school this fall, so I'm pretty proud of her. She's going to be the best one yet. She wants to major in biochemistry, so we'll see how that goes, but she'll be going to the College of Agriculture as well. I got to tell you, a blast from the past, talking about school. You see Randy Miles is in the audience. He was my soils professor. I took 2 classes from him, Soils 100, which I think I got to see. I'm basically a CD student. Soils 100, then I later took a class called Soil Genesis, Mapping, and Classification. And you can take it either graduate level or you can take it undergraduate, which I took it undergraduate. Everybody was a lot smarter than I was, and a little bit older, but it was a great class. I learned a lot in that class. I think we had at least one class at the old Heidelberg, if I'm not mistaken, which had this in school. But it was a good, very good course, but what I'm more proud of about Randy than anything else is he was our advisor at Roughnecks. Here I was Roughneck Treasurer, which basically that entire area of expertise as treasurer of Roughnecks was I was responsible to make sure there was enough money in the account to buy the beer for initiation. Randy he took over as the advisor after Dr. Boggs left, and that was a good time. We were still pretty strong Roughneck University at the time. We didn't lose Roughnecks until I think '92. But that was a lot of good times. Thanks, Randy, for being there, and obviously he had a big impact on me going to school. I am an agronomy major. You say that in Washington, D.C., and everybody looks like, what the hell is that? Nobody knows what agronomy is, which is unfortunate. 90% of the people that work in Washington are poli-sci majors. They're attorneys. But very few of us are agronomy majors. In fact, in Congress, there's about 7 of us that are engaged in production agriculture. At 435 House members, 7 of us are engaged in production agriculture. That's quite a change from the way it used to be. And unfortunately, it takes a lot of work and to educate so many members of Congress that just don't understand what our food system is about. They don't understand that we have the safest, we have the most affordable, and the most abundant food supply in the world. And it's a constant process because many of them see agriculture as a third rail issue. They don't want to go there, they don't want to touch it, they don't want to fund it, they don't understand why we have farm policy. This year alone, we had the toughest year, last year, the toughest year trying to pass the farm bill. We struggled with it. In the past, we've always had a nice coalition between the rural areas and the urban areas. Urban areas, obviously, very interested in the nutrition programs. The rural areas, obviously, more in the traditional ag programs. But we've always had that coalition. This year, it broke down. We were going to see approximately a $40 million cut to the ag programs that are out there, and the urban areas wanted all of that to come out of the farm program. We wanted to divide it in half. And the fact that 80% of the farm bill is nutrition programs and 20% of it's traditional agriculture disproportionate share anyway. And all the negotiations broke down. They said, you can't pass a bill without us. And the House of Representatives, we said, watch us. And so we went to work and we were able to pass it. They gave us a very strong bargaining point when it came to passing the farm bill, because for the first time in a very long time, we were going to pass a farm bill that was just agriculture and had no nutrition programs in it. And we're going to come back and deal with the nutrition programs later. And they knew they were going to have a problem. So we went back to the table and we were able to work out an agreement, which was the original agreement, to take that money out of both sides. And so it worked out. But it's getting tougher and tougher and tougher to be able to pass farm legislation. And I thought we had a very good farm bill this year, heavily dependent on insurance programs, with one to be in charge of road destiny. I don't like being relying on the government for anything. When it comes to agriculture, I would like to see just a good, strong insurance program. That's not the direction that we're going. What I've been spending all my time working on right now is the highway bill. After I left her as chairman of the Small Business Committee, we have term limits on the Republican side when it comes to chairmanships. And when I was turned out of the chairmanship, the speaker came to me and said, I want to put you in charge of our highway surface transportation bill. Basically, my jurisdiction is all of our ports and all of our roads and bridges throughout the country. I didn't necessarily like that thought of being in charge of that. I said, so Mr. Speaker, what you're saying is that I got to pass a highway bill with no money, and we've got crumbling infrastructure throughout the country, and I've got to figure out how to do it. He said, that's exactly why I'm putting you in charge of it. No taxes, we're not going to increase gas taxes. So we've been trying to figure out how we're going to get there. We're short about somewhere between $40 and $50 billion over a long-term bill. That's a 5-year bill. We are going to pass a long-term bill. That gives our highway departments much more opportunity to be able to plan rather than 1 year to the next year to the next year. We need some longevity in the highway bill. We will get that done. We'll probably pass the House version of it in September. We moved it to September and out in July because we were running up against the deadline of the August break. And we didn't want to rush it. We want to be able to have a good bill. And the way we're going to fund it is basically through our existing gas tax that we're already collecting. I'm also going to increase, or we're going to hope to increase, exploration for oil and gas on federal land. You can charge a royalty for that. If companies want to go into federal property and be able to pull that oil and gas out of the ground, they're going to have to pay for it to be able to do that. Then we're going to have a repatriation component to that. Repatriation is those dollars that are coming back into the United States, and we're going to try to incentivize those dollars coming back into the United States from companies that are storing that cash or those resources offshore. We're going to be able to grab onto some of that. So I think we're going to be able to solve our funding problem. It's actually under the jurisdiction. The funding issue of the highway bill is under the jurisdiction of the Ways and Means Committee. We're working with Paul Ryan, who is the chairman of Ways and Means, to put that process together. We've pretty much got the bill written in terms of distribution and how the money is going to flow out to the states. Missouri is going to be in a very good position when it comes to getting those dollars, and it has as much to do then with the match that the state of Missouri is going to have to come up with, which I'll leave to our very capable representatives and senators how to figure that out. But it's going to be a good bill, I think, and it's going to solve our problems at least for 5 to 6 years. It's going to be a long-term bill. We'll see what happens after that. But for the most part, I appreciate being here. I've been coming to field days ever since I helped work some of the field days when I was in school as an undergrad. And I'm a very big believer in the university research. There's a lot of competition out there from the private sector when it comes to that research, but I still believe that Extension and the University of Missouri does some very good research in those areas that aren't necessarily as sexy as some of the other areas, but very, very important when it comes to being able to get that information. We use it. We use all of the, in fact, we get reports from all of the field days on our farm. We kind of pour through it. Dad and my little brother and myself, we pour through that, going through it and trying to obviously make our production decisions. This year we would have done better with the pontoon boat than we would have with tractors. It has been a very, very wet year. We get it just before you all get it as these storms move across the state. But I tell you, some of that order, I don't have to tell you all anything, but that early corn and early soybeans are going to do very, very well, at least in the hills. We had a lot of preventive planning on our bottoms. We just never were able to get a lot of our soybean crop in, unfortunately. I know some of you struggle with that too, but I still believe it's going to be a good care of my daughter. This is the last one. I will come back, and I appreciate it. Thank you all very much for letting me come.
Man, we have Sam in Washington. Wish we had a whole bunch more Sams in Washington. It's a distinct pleasure for me now to unveil some things for you all. You know, it was 1970, not 69, when Ms. Greenley gifted us with this farm in honor of her father, Lee Greenley Jr. And there's been a lot of stuff that's been done here. You've all benefited from it, and the state's going to benefit from it in the future, as is agriculture in general. So we have 2 dedications we'd like to do. And I'll tell you, last year I stood up here and I looked right down there where Jim is, and that's where Miss Greenley was sitting. So do you feel it? So I miss her. We all miss her greatly. Well, we have 2 dedications. Senator Munslinger mentioned one of them already. We all drove across it coming in here, and I got such flack. We suggested having a little water crossing, pontoon boats, and everything else, but we wound up building a bridge, and it was finished thanks to our crews. And we want to dedicate it. And if you drove in, you may not have seen it, but this is what you see on the Miss Hortense Greenley Memorial Bridge. This is the plaque, and it says, "This bridge is dedicated in honor of Miss Hortense Greenley. May this serve as an enduring reminder of her generosity and dedication to the University of Missouri." And we could put all of agriculture in this part of the state. It's dated August the 4th, 2015. And that's today. And it's remarkable with technology how you can create something like this on the day that it's happening. And you go out there and see the brass plaque. And so we appreciate that very much. I think Ms. Greenley would appreciate a round of applause. We all leave. The plaque is will be on your left, on the far side as you're going out. So you slow down and turn around and crane your neck and look. And it's very nice. We appreciate it. Jesse, would you take this one down and we'll do the next one? And I don't know if folks are going to be able to see this next one. Well, I guess we can. We also would like to dedicate a building to Miss Greenley, and it's a new building that we constructed over here. I guess it was finished, John, last year? Roughly last year? Yeah, and it's the Miss Hortense Greenley Agronomy Building. And here's this is the actual sign that will go on the building later. You can see that. So we owe her a lot, and her memory is here the very last evening. We appreciate everything that Miss Greenley did for us. And I'm looking over there, I can just see her saying that she's a hell of a lot better looking than you are. That's all right. Maybe if you sit there for 38 years, you'll look better too. You didn't know this was going to happen. I should have told you. Dennis should have told you this was coming. Anyway, so this is a wonderful day to honor Miss Greenley. And I made a comment earlier, many of you will recall this actual structure here a long time ago before it was renovated. And we were able to get out of the rain and enjoy this field day we have for the last several years because Miss Greenley wanted this old barn reconstructed in the form that it was when she was a young woman. And so because of her, she's also been given honors from the Historical Society, which she's done on this farm. So anyway, thank you, and I'll turn it over to Dana, who will close out the program, I think. Is that correct?
Thank you, Dean Payne. Well, we're towards the end of the program. Look like go figure, the rain might be done here, so just in time. So shortly after this, Kelly, Dr. Nelson will be having a drainage and sub-irrigation presentation in the conference room, so you won't get any more rain, so we'll have that in there. And I want to thank everybody, all the presenters, all the farmers, all of you guys for being here. It definitely means a lot. And I want to thank our sponsors for the support and our staff. They put in a lot of hours. Our grad students put a lot of work in making this happen. So thank you all. We'll adjourn the 38th annual field day. I would like our advisory board members, campus administration, with pictures in front of the dedication here. So with that, you guys will see.